Human, jari, ang programa KISAW nan Sangguniang Panglungsod. Ay mga igala, kumusta? Maayong adlaw Sabado kanatong tanan. Uy, gwapong numero ha. Oktubre 18, 2025. Sabado na sab. Niya kining usak ka oras nga sinema ng tulumanon sa Sangguniang Panglungsod sa pagpangulo ni Vice Mayor Alfonso Casura ang programang KISAW NAN SANGGUNIANG PANGLUNGSOD. Dita maglangan mga kaigsunan sa kontrol nila ni Paing Agraw di Jacqueline Hacoselem sa transmitter si Bubong Abad. Kininyo ulagad sa kangin ng June Clerigo. Niya sa tong linya ang atong City Vice Mayor Alfonso Casura. Sir, good morning. Yes, good morning, Mayor. Ay, kadali lang. Mandema on the air diha. Kadit sa sir ha. Okay. Yes, Mayor Pons, Vice Mayor, good morning. Oh. Hanang linya. Ha? Hello, sir. Kadali sir. Okay, nana sa itong linya. Vice Mayor Pons, good morning, sir.
Good morning, John. Good morning sa tanan nga mga Surigao-non. Good morning sa nagsunod sa ato programa kada Sabado, KISAW sa Sangguniang Panglungsod. Maayong buntag kaninyong tanan.
Maayong buntag sab sir. Kumusta? Kumusta nga tong semana isip Vice Mayor and Acting City Mayor?
Well, una sa tanan, ang mga panghitabo, labi na itong Biyernes, itong previous weeks, ang ato tagtutukan gadod is how prepared we are sa Surigao City in the event na daw ay mga panghitabo sama sa linog. And it really happened last Friday at around 7:02 or 7:04 na nahit kita na linog, although kadali ra pero tagsawan gadod tanan. So,
din magkawad to sir, di pa kasi Jubayay?
Actually, I was still sa Bayay. Dito sa kwarto. We were really trying to see na mahatagan nato ng pagtagad and doon preparasyon. And immediately after na naglinog, dito na ako sa office. Tagtanaw ko kung may mga damages ba o reports. Sakaloy sa Diyos, siya mansab. And hamok may nagtawag sa ako kung i-suspend ba ang klase. So, laong ko na, may rason na i-suspend. Kaya may, at the rapid way that we assess the situation, kaya may good ato rapid response team. May distroso. So, I said na, it will all depend upon sa mga schools kung mag-suspend sila ng klase, but we will not declare any suspension of classes nor suspension of work. So it was also very important kay ang Biyernes daan na kami may mga taglaong pa nakahanay na mga schedule. For example, nan buntag tag-settle nato in boundary conflict lagi between Barangay San Juan, Sabang and Barangay Rizal. So doon ila dugay na gud na in issue as regards doon taglawang Biborhan settlers. And then and the reserve sa area sa Kabalawan. So daw mga suggestion ng duha ka panig ang mga opisyalis sa Barangay Sabang tanan mga opisyalis sa Barangay Rizal. All of them were there. Kompleto ang ila kapitan plus nila mga konsehales.
Mhm.
And dito sa Banato City Assessor, dito sa Banato Acting CPDO Officer, tanan-tanan dito, taga-hanay, kung unong pag-resolbar in an issue lagi na boundary conflict between Barangay Sabang and Barangay Rizal.
Mhm.
Actually, an issue did on June is hain mga doon mabilong andyon Bieborhan settlers
Oo.
na doon ay mga bayay.
Haman din gihon Vice Mayor sa
Didon sa Bieborhan,
Biburhan.
dahil
Okay.
gani ato naguba na kuan ini na ila covered court
Mm.
na dito na area daw didon road towards the area known as Bieborhan settlers.
Mm. Mm.
So ini nadugay kami kay may mga intact contention and each party regarding the ownership rather the boundary.
Mm.
So nagpahayag man ang Barangay Rizal na they will file a formal petition sa Sangguniang Panglungsod for purposes of settling the boundary conflict, boundary issue. So hiyaton ra kanato daon kung unoy dangatan kung makomply ng Barangay Rizal and ila petition for the settlement of the boundary conflict.
Mm. So kining kabalawan ceremony ari diri agihon sa Villa Gertrudes nga access road.
John Villa Gertrudes, dire-diretso doon. Pero, ang portion dito, gamay ra na belong sa barangay sa Sabang.
Mm.
Ang kadaghanan, ang dako gud na area. Kay ang Rizal gud, dako man siya. Rizal is the mother barangay o barangay Sabang.
Mm.
So, bali, kung laong panato, daughter ni inin barangay Sabang.
Mhm.
Ang barangay inin Rizal has a big, isa sa pinakadako na area, land area sa syudad sa Surigao. And to a large extent na kung ikumparar siya 90,000 or basta 9 against 2.
Mhm.
2,000 square kilometers while the barangay Rizal is about 9,000 square kilometers.
Okay.
So kung
Gamay
imo
ra ang Sabang.
naon gamay ra gud an area ng Sabang. Kay an area ng Sabang, as I've said, is anak siya ng barangay Rizal.
Mhm.
So kuman may conflict did on lagi kung hain mahimutang or legally sa boundaries ng siyudad sa Surigao based sa tax map or even sa Namrea or sa DNR kung hain gud na butang inin or hain na jurisdiction nandiyon Settlers Association.
Mhm. Okay. So di po sila mo sugot nga mag-meet halfway, Mayor.
Di amo lagi ta natutudyo kahapon na may mag-exchange sila but it turns out na at the end of the day nulang sa rukan ang barangay sa Sabang na di rakan kami mo enter into a settlement regarding the area of a portion sa Kabalawan. Kaya ang Kabalawan is really part of Rizal. But there is a 7 hectares area that is already considered as public land and has been claimed by the city na dato tagbutangan ng ato mga taglawang patag-relocate. So, nulong sila na ang kadaghanan na tag-relocate din parang taga-barangay Sabang. So, why can't we not just have that this area be turned over to Barangay Sabang instead of Barangay Rizal? On the other hand, ang settlers doon, Bieborhan settlers na used to be Pispan sa una, tapos tag hinahinayan pagtambak, ang Rizal sa Bulong amo ini kay sangayan na daan na Biborhan. Ang Biborhan is part of Barangay Rizal. Pero ang nahitabo gud misnomer ini kay sa una good June ang Biborhan is land. In other words, ang sitio Biborhan sa una lupa ra. So kung man nag-expand sila, nag-expand over the years, may nagka-speculate lagi, tagngan lang nila ng Biborhan Settlers Association, not knowing na ang Biborhan per se, in itself, by the creation of the sitio, was really Barangay Rizal. Pero doon dagat na tag-reclaim na barangay at tagnanla nila na Settlers Association sa mapa belongs to Barangay Sabang. So doon amoya sila magkasinabot kahapon. So may contention man ang isa ka former barangay kapitan at the time na in 2013, there was an agreement of all the boundaries of the 54 barangays. Iya sa mo perma. And it is on record na iya sa mo perma. Kay ija tag-claim gano'n na doon, settlers is really within the jurisdiction of Barangay Rizal. So, iyato na kanamo. Kung mag-file sila ng formal petition sa korte for dahil kung sa korte sa Sangguniang Panglungsod.
Sangguniang Panglungsod.
Na taglaan ko sila, if you can have it at the earliest possible time, we will try to endeavor na mahiring doon sa pinakadali na panahon.
Okay. Right. Kining di ra kung kinira may problema sa Outlanan, Vice Mayor, na pa ibang mga barangay siguro.
Di, adaoy pending ko man between Anaw-Awon and Barangay Ipil.
Kini.
Pero yaman mo pursue an Anaw-Awon, we have been waiting for a petition to be filed. Siguro kuman kay human naman election base i-pursue na sab nila daon. So that is between, and then there is also Barangay Luna and Barangay Luna and Barangay Washington. Pero it's just a matter of in looking at it kung may records naman good. Ija i-overlay ra kanamo and then make it that ma-official na inigud, mabalik na issue. Kaya the last time na nagkaseto lagi was in 2013 yet. Pero kuman base sa 2026 diao na say siguro bag-o namo na himuon to really formalize ato mga boundaries na ato mga barangays.
Okay. So nasugdan man nato kahapon nga activity ninyo after that magnitude 6 nga linog sa GL. Kining pagkahapon na Vice Mayor Pons na tuki na ninyo katong gi-submit nga budget sa Executive Department?
Yes, oo, kahapon nagsugod na ang budget review, and we are very happy that all those who attended responded well and participated well sa review. As you all know, daton Huibis tag-submit na ng executive and budget ng Surigao City for the year 2026. And the total budgetary allocation due for budgeting is about 1.6 million,
billion.
1.6 billion plus. In 1.6 billion plus June, nakita namo na ang mga statutory obligation like the 20% development fund, the 5% calamity fund, have been really over pagani sila sa 20, kaya balaod ng laong man at least 20%, no less than 20%. of the allocation sa NTA.
Mm.
Ang ato 20% development fund sa mga projects daon sa mga maabot sa siguro ng mga 25%.
Mhm.
So ang ato sa 5% kay nulaong man at least 5%.
At least 5%.
Dako sa over sa 5%.
Mhm.
So kahapon we ended up na justify na ng city treasurer, city assessor, city budget officer, and sources of funds. Kaya amo mga di unahon nato ini. Proper kami mutuki ng mga budget sa mga departments. It has to be on the basis na panghanapon na ninam kung ano may ato na uman naabot naman kita ninam 1.6 billion.
Mhm.
So they were able to justify, although there are areas na nulaong kami na may way to improve pa the collection.
Mhm.
There were so many suggestions, and we will take note of that. Anyway, at the end of the day, nulaong sila, ang ato ra kanhimuon is that we will just have to retain the fund source. Anyway, kung mag-exceed, himuan tara ng supplemental budget.
Mhm.
So, daon na kay amo na nahimo na kinta policy kahapon na at the end of the day, almost 1.5 hours na discussion, or almost 2 hours gani,
Mhm.
nahuman na kita sa sources of funds. So, by Monday, we expect that ang mga offices na tanaw na mo critical sa serbisyo ng syudad, like for example, the City Health,
Mhm.
the CSWD, the City Agriculture, the ato GSO, Engineering, plus ato Enro. These are the vital basic services departments na amo tan-awon kung nahatag basab sa allocated budgetary allocations kuman ang mga pangandoy ng mga department. As the mayor was saying last Saturday when we had a discussion of the budget before sa submission ton Huibis, ang laong ragadod niya, the PPPs, the plans, programs, and programs or activities of each department have to respond to the gaps. What do you mean by gaps? So, it has to be quantified na on the basis na ano may imo gusto mahitabo for 2025 as against 2024 in quantifiable terms. So, pananglitan mo lang ka na we'll try to see the improvement of sa rabies control. That for 2025, mga 200 ra kaido amoy na bakunahan. So what is the gap considering na may problema kita sa bites na dog bites and cat bites na grabe ka alarming ang situation. So you have to quantify kung ano imo gusto vaccination ba kita ng more than 200 again, and that would be quantified pila may kinahanglan. Sa agriculture, for example, we have been able to irrigate this area as big as pila ka hektarya, but there is still those that need to be irrigated. How big is the area? And how much in quantity or the amount that we need to respond to the gap. Diba? Sa collection ng garbage, pila man ka sakyanan ang kinahanglan para masatisfy ang ato mga katawhan sa delivery ng basic services sa garbage, like for example garbage collection. So right now we have 4. So how many do we need? So they said another 4. So if that is the case, then we will fund it. So this amo ini amo the way we are trying to consider sa review command, and by Monday hopefully those schedule bali ang mahitabo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Nag-set na mo ang 3 days kay base sa Huwebes mapasana na mo ang budget ng syudad.
Okay, paspasan niyo for the 3 days period.
Yes, 3 days period kay ang importante raman is the sources of funds. Sanan andon mga lagi mandatory obligations. For example, di man gadon ini tantanan ni Batang Abyan ni ato mga elderly. Anak may ato mga elderly.
Mga senior citizens.
Citizens na konsehalis. So ang pinaka
eldest.
Basta kay may edad na.
May edad na.
Sigo, Kagawad Consigo, and then Councilor Catre, then Councilor Batang, and myself. Upat man kami doon, and may edad na. Tunulong kami na sa 2026, amo na siguro gud pa nga doon na i-moderno no sab nato inin ato card lagi sa inin
senior citizen.
Yung card ba gadot
dili na kong
amura na ATM card na.
Akuan PVC plastic.
Kay kuman primero aton taglaon nila nasuko si Vice. Kay pagkakita ko lagi nan card nan ako misis. Tag 110 raman. So no lang uman ini gubaan makina. Kuman arang-arang pero typewritten gihapon.
Typewritten.
Ikaw na say magpa card na gana.
Magpa-laminate.
Laminate whatever you call it. Pero sa 2026 di nagadot kami. Lang kami sa budget officer. Taga-isab ng budget na daon na makapalit na gadud kita ng ato kaugalingon na machine na amoy mo hatag ng dignity when we will be presenting a card tapos ang card dili kung presentable, it speaks well ng syudad, di ba? I mean pero kung gana ni mo card, it speaks well. Grabe ka kuanan sa city. It is the first, first impression is lasting. So, gusto na mo ma-change on impression na sa ato magkinahanglan mga gadud nato ini, why not that we go? So, may amo na internal agreement with the budget officer na pandingan ini. Pare gyapon sa mga solo parents sa doon may mga mga card holder, may ato naman ordinansa ikat sa province. We will just adapt that na sa pagkakuman basta any kind of government issued ID as long as it is indicated and date of birth will be accepted. Although nakuyat pa kita ng implementing rules and regulations on, but we are happy that ang province had established a system through an ordinance that will also be applicable to the city.
Okay. Nice one. Kining nabay laminator na to diha sa kan city government waya pa ato ID laminator sir no?
Di doon di anay kinahanglan laminator kay daw na machine diretso naman.
Diretso na.
Issue na siya amura na ATM na imo card. Oo.
So kanang
siguro doon by Monday kung maka-attend ka mo amo man gud amo unahon doon. Doon mga tagmuyo banan mga ato mga sektor. Senior citizen, persons with
disability,
PWD,
mga
solo parents. These are the ones that we would like to consider na priority namo sa discussion. sa Monday. As I've said, we will endeavor as much as possible to complete the budget review within the next 3 days, next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the moment na ma-finalize na namo tanan, including the AIP, the Annual Investment Plan, then by Thursday, you can expect that this will be passed. Kung dili man gali, at least ma-pass sa makumpleto ang second reading. And then by October 30 na session, that will be passed as agreed upon. But we will endeavor, as I've said, na mapasa ini kuman PR Ahuibis.
Okay. Vice Mayor Pons, last Wednesday, nagpatawag mo og committee hearing of the whole bahin itong joint venture agreement status o ang water systems inability to provide the sufficient water supply in the city of Surigao.
Yes, Jun, dito man, kompleto man ang mga konsehalis, hapit, dito ang ato General Manager Surigao Metropolitan Water District, si Engineer Benjamin Insomo, and then dito si Engineer Pungkol, and the rest of the Surigao Metropolitan Water District staff were there to answer questions from the members of the council. So tagbalik na sab dito ang mga commitments sa joint venture agreement, and ang nakasubo lamang gado dito is when we ask a specific question as to 2025-2026 programs, plans ng SFWD and Prime Water.
Yeah.
Prime Water admitted na tanan-tanan na mga plano nila is put on hold. Meaning they cannot mention any amount sa capital expenditure or CAPEX, considering that may agam-agam sila or amoranan na nagpanagana sila because naabot daon may lagi Senate investigation, plus number 2, may intention naman ang water district to rescind the contract. But ang recession good ato lagi tagtanaw sa ila joint venture agreement is through arbitration. Dili mag-agi sa korte, kundi arbitration. So because of that, Nulong and Water District na nagplano na sila na mag-hire ng lawyer, because they were being told by the Government Corporate Council na they will hire a lawyer. So kuman they are still in the process of looking for a lawyer. Number 2, they are also trying to look at it on how much the amount will be paid to that lawyer. And number 3, clearance from the COA to hire and engage the services of a private lawyer. Surigao Metropolitan Water District, by the way, is a GOCC. Therefore, it is a government-owned or controlled corporation and covered by government regulations like COA.
Okay.
So ang ila in day-to-day activities at ila disbursements and ila even the budget will be scrutinized by COA. Now, ini amoy nasubo lagi kami kay they are still in the process of looking for a lawyer. Now, it was since January pa bagan. Ila plano na hapit na pa man October na. So when can we have that? Dili sila katubag. Ikaduha lagi daton admission ng water Prime Water na dili gid kami sir makatubag kun unoy amo himuon sa capital expenditure for next year, because one way or another, nagpanagan na kami kay base daw ay mahitabo after ng Senate investigation and unay mahitabo sa rescission of the contract through arbitration. So laong kami alkansi gadul karadaw ang water district na ini because you are earning income and then in fact even during the process of arbitration dili man makadto ang collection sa water district kundi adto gihapon magpabilin sa prime water. So status ko, so mukon mo lang ko 2 years 3 years an arbitration, hunong tanan ang mga pondo na ihatag ng prime water, but ang likod nan ini they are collecting from the water rates and then just give a share to the water district. So daon amoy amo taglangan pa na grabe kadto ka disadvantageous ini kay gani daw pay provisions dito na even if may contribution pa man gani badya an water district sa daon mga capital expenditure na unta sa pagpresentar nila sa first 5 years arang ragadud kagamay an ila nahatag na pondo para sa capital expenditure.
Pila to? 6% ra?
10% or 20% of what they promise. I do not want to state the amount, but for the first 5 years gadud sila makatuman nan ila saad na mag-invest this much. Of the one that they promised, only about siguro 20%. Nakita masab ng mga tao ini sa ton presentation sa Senate na almost according to the Senate review sa COA, only 6% of what they promised to be invested as capital expenditure was really poured in by Prime Water. So there was already an initial assessment that the GB or the joint venture agreement is really disadvantageous. Now, well, as the local government unit of Surigao, the mayor being the appointing officer of the members of the board, the mayor really has power to what we can do on this aspect. Kay the progress of a local government unit is measured really on how we can respond to the basic necessities of its constituents. And one of the basic necessities is water. Here is a situation where nag-enter into a joint venture agreement with the hope na ma-improve pagdadaw ang water system, but the real situation occurring right now is entirely different from what was expected. Although at the time lagi in 2016 when it was deliberated upon, I was one of those who voted against the privatization and some other city councilors. But we were overpowered then because minority man 2016 to 2019. We said that there is really no way na in a joint venture agreement, although at the time grabe and high expectations that this much amount of 800 million will be put in, will be be the capital expenditure, pero what it turns out dili ko na mo inahitabo. Precisely the reason why right now arang gajud kalisod ang water system distribution sa city of Surigao, the fact na nag-increase ang ato mga kliyente sa tubig. Because we are increasing by leaps and bounds. At the time that the GB was signed in 2016, the population of the city of Surigao was just only about 130.
Mm.
Now it's almost 190 na. Kaya doon 171 is 2022 pa. But ang projection is that by the 2026 maabot na gani kita ng hapit ng mga 190. Ang population, I'm talking about population, not the voting. But the population will be able to reach siguro mga 190.
190
So
na ta
with
kuman.
the increase of the population, necessarily the increase of the need for water. Now here is a situation where we cannot even satisfy ng percentage of how much percentage labi na diri sa amo. Tumoy
Narciso.
na hapit na ng tumoy na narciso na did end na sab kami. Lisod na dud karado diri sa amo. Well, sa ila ni Kagawad Katre, laon siya droplets. At least daw it drops. Sa amo gadud, maghuyat gadud kami ng duyom adto pa gadud mo kusog an tubig. But morning, afternoon, lisod gadud karado. Although sa ground floor dya ay tubig. Pero sa magkaton ako sa second floor, di na gadud kasaka. So, these are realities na ato kahimtang ng tubig. So, when the mayor will be back, we will brief him about the results of the committee hearing and we'll try to see unoy ato mahimo nan ini being the ones affected sa daon na sitwasyon.
Okay. So, mo to gingon ni Vice naman ni Kagawad Boy Katreng, the contract entered by SMWD to Prime Water is generous, but Prime Water's contract to SMWD is onerous.
You can quote him on that.
Oo. Yung matong i-mention sa interview.
Sa interview. Which is really true. It was given as a song, meaning amura gadod nan taghatag ra lamang na wayay pagtan-aw kon way unoy mahitabo. Tagan ra nan mga sweeteners.
Sweeteners.
But at the end of the day, waya gadod. It is not only Surigao City. Now they were discussing about talks na si Manny Pangilinan is interested. But we said di na kami doon mo-introdan niyo doon sitwasyon niyo. Kaya we would not be privy to whoever will take over and operations. But what we are after of right now is how you can really improve and who can really come up with a better solution on this. Returning back to the water district or what are the other options? That is the amo doon na namo tagtanaw sa pagakuhan. Kay grabe gid ka onerous and provisions. I can say I am a lawyer and I know what onerous means. An onerous grabe gid ka disadvantageous na an pabor jadto ra gid sa isa ka partido. Waya mahatagi ng patas. Whereas an advantage is more sa Prime Water, disadvantage and water district. And with that, that the balance is tilting really sa inconvenience ng mga consumers, water consumers ng Surigao City.
Okay. So, 2 to 3 years, pero kung arbitration, wala answer nga way instead of arbitration?
Well, there are other ways, but again, as I've said, we are bound. Daon lagi mag-enter ka ng contract. Daon mag-with provision ditoon na in the event of breach, the issue will be settled through arbitration. Ini isa ka butang natag sultihan ang damo daan ang water district jadton sa una pa. Naadaw ka mo pagsugot nan ini. kay it will really be a long process, and not only long process, it's very expensive. Kaya when you go to arbitration, magbayad man ka sa mga arbitrators.
Oo. Adto pag yun sa Manila.
Unlike sa korte, na ano mo, ibayad ang pag-file and filing fee. But with regard to arbitration, and cost of arbitration will be shoulder 50-50. So kung mulong an arbitration group or panel of arbitrators, na namo fee nan ini will be based on saad ng water pinta concessionaire na lang lamang 900 million. So kung mabase sila dito, grabe kayo kadako ang cost ng arbitration. That was what we told the water district before. Adaw ka mo pagsugot nan ini, because when you want to terminate the contract, you go to arbitration. You cannot in any manner have it unilaterally rescinded. Or mula kami, uy, nag-violate man kamo, di na kami amo nakuha ang pagbalik. No. Whatever is the issue that will crop up during the lifetime of the joint venture agreement will be settled through arbitration. Kung mula sila nag-violate ka mo ng ato provision, mula sila, okay, o na may amo tag-violate, amo ini. Then we'll go to arbitration. Amo madyon taglaong namo na arang doon kadisbintaha, kay the moment na mag-arbitrate ka mo, magbayad ka mo, plus the fact that it will take time. In the meantime, sino may ganansyado nan ini? Di ba ang water prime water
at tuman sa ilap
sa admission pa lamang na natun Miyerkules, no laong naman sila na everything that is planned for capital expenditure is being put on hold because of their fear na maka-arbitration na or daton na kuan lagi sa Senate na ang sa Senate got investigation man in aid of legislation. So meaning to say, if the Senate will really recommend for laon ta lamang franchise of na tangtangon sa prime water, that would mean that they are no longer have personality to engage with us. And that is really something that is drastic as far as we are concerned also, because the moment na mawaya ang prangkisa ng prime water, it means that mawaya na sila personality, and to a large extent ang ilang mga joint venture agreements will also be ceased to exist, or in an enforceability ng ila joint venture agreement will really be considered as terminated also, considering that ang prangkisa ng prime water will no longer be, or is now being cancelled, if ever that will be cancelled by the Senate or by Congress. Amo man doon na mulong sila, we are very sorry to inform this council that every actions that we do with regard to capital expenditure is being put on hold. So nangutan ako why? Is it because by the Senate? Yes. So
di ba pwede Vice Mayor Pons mo engage ta og services sa mga kining na siya kanang sa ilayom sa lupa kuno dito i-drill ang atong supplies tubig dinhi?
Nalagi sila mo go into that extent of telling us what
individual houses
plans, because put on hold tanan. Meaning to say, yay ila siguro ihatag na capital expenditure for 2026 until such time na ma-settle ini na issue. So an may tabo status ko lagi, whatever is the status now will continue to exist, and this is really to the disadvantage ng ato mga water concession water consumers. Arang gud ka luoy na mga Surigao non.
Okay, Vice Mayor Pons, line po nga committee hearing of the whole kadtong inyong giuyunan nga ano ini katong tanyag nga dunay lupa nga ipa use of rock sa Supreme Court.
Yes,
Mm.
aton Martes,
Tuesday, acting
nag,
mayor mo kadto. Mm.
meeting jointly ang Sangguniang Panlalawigan, Sangguniang Panglungsod regarding nan status ng mga courts din sa probinsya, to include the city courts. Duha man na nato korte din sa syudad ang Municipal Trial Court in Cities Branch 1 na bakante kuman ang ija huwes, and then the other one is the Municipal Trial Court in Cities Branch 2 under Judge Bakilod. And then we have Branch 29 under Judge Bals Lisonra, Branch 30 under Judge Gorgolon. So kumandaon sa Ban 32 under Judge Minil, although ang 32 is really covering ng jurisdiction ng Dinagat Island. And then Branch 31
To sa dapa
dito
Siargao.
sa Siargao. Now, kuman, napasar na ang Judiciary Autonomous Fiscal Autonomy Act. Meaning to say, ang Judiciary kuman have their own budget for the construction of courts. Ang Surigao City, diyaoy may atutuod korte na tag-house ang mga courts nato. Pero naglaong si an ato administrator, court administrator, regional court administrator, sanan si Justice Di Maampaw pagkari diri. Justice Di Maampaw happens to be the justice in charge for Caraga region. Naglaong siya na ang plano gud under Chief Justice Command is really to fast track the construction of buildings para sa court na isara gud kinta June. Meaning dili i-house dinhi i-house ang tanan korte. So kuman kun imo tan-awon ang syudad, ang branch 29, 30 and 32 dito sa Capitol. Pero ang city court yari sa syudad. So siya laong ang Supreme Court kuman, it's high time na daw na isara ka nga building ang judiciary na adto dito tanan para an ato mga maserbisyo. Because of this, may opening kami at the time na din si Justice Di Maampaw during his last visit here in Surigao City. Nulong kami na we'll try to look for a lot that can be donated to the Supreme Court. But in the meantime, nulong sa ang mga kadagkuan sa Supreme Court para ang budget ng idyo mga korte sa City Court ang Supreme Court na ang mag-maintain, meaning to say ang ila mga fixtures, air conditioning units, tanan-tanan na panginahanglan sa opisina will be shouldered now by the Supreme Court because they are already autonomous in the way na di na sila muagi pa ng mga muagi pa dito sa DBM na mga ng pondo because sa budget daon siya. Dili na magkinahanglan pa na mga nan authority gikan sa DBM because DBM will release whatever is allocated for the judiciary automatically daon sa Constitution. So it will be automatically released to them upon approval. So be that as may, nulong ang Supreme Court kuman na para ang City Court sa syudad na duha ka buok matagan dako ng pagtagad, ihatag doon usufruct. What do you mean by usufruct? It is more of a deed of donation. But donation in the sense that dili kon absolute because usufruct ra, meaning as long as it is needed, ijo. Pero kung di na nijo kinahanglanon, ibalik. Amo man dyan taglaw usufruct. So kuman, napasar na namo ang authority taghatag sa mayor to enter into a deed of usufruct for the two spaces that are allocated doon sa ato building na tag-donate na by way of usufruct in favor sa Supreme Court. So kuman, kung makabisita ka dito, kami ang renovate na ato duha ka korte. And as I was telling Judge Baquilod the other day, or I think yesterday, the other day, dulaong ako sa ila na paganahon gud namo ang ato mga korte dinhi. With the generosity of the Mayor Paul, he made sure na presentable gud sa banato mga korte dinhi. So, kuman, taglaan ko si Judge Baquilod, never mind nadaon ani ka mo ng inconvenient doon sa bago na building, but the moment na mahuman ini, hopefully by November 15, mahuman na namo ang renovation ng mga korte. Bali, independent na kamo kay jaon duha ka space will no longer be at the moment owned by the city but already owned by the Supreme Court, considering na nag-enter na kami ng deed of usufruct. So, jaon ang welcome news. Number 2, nag-mention si board member Vic Bernal na may lote ang probinsya doon sa may Cagneyog area that is fronting their school. Doon school doon sa Cagneyog. There are two schools, by the way. Darinderira sa may Kayutan, sa nandiyaon dito doon sa
Cagneyog
sentro
proper
ng Cagneyog. The one that is we are talking about is that area fronting the central school of Cagneyog. In front of that is a property that is owned by the local provincial government. And per discussion, no long an amo pa inistoryahan i-confirm with kan governor na willing and province to allocate a portion of that area there for the judiciary. Now, nulong sab kami sa siyudad na dahil sa amo unta ihatag na about 2,000 to 2,000 square meters didon sa area ng Barangay Luna, straightforward doon na hilera sa BIR. That is
likod sa terminal.
You enter into the terminal area entrance, dire-diretso ka, then what you can see is that area of number 1 BIR, and then DAR, and then there is that area of the Super Health Center. Immediately after that is still that area consisting of 3,000 square meters that has been donated by the Cortez family, supposedly for the Bureau of Fire Protection before. But considering that the Bureau of Fire Protection did not pursue their intention to construct a building, so nawaya na dito. So down libre dyan sa pagkakuman. Unfortunately, when we discussed that issue with the court administrator, the regional court administrator, she was clear enough in saying na dili sila mo dawat ng donation from a private entity or from a private family or from a private individual because of conflict of interest siguro or what. So laong sila, better to have it from Cortez family to the city, then city to Supreme Court. So nulong kami na it is something na tedious karadyaw kay ang bayranan kay taas-taas naman dito ng value ng property. Basic mong problema kami. So eventually nulong kami na di na siguro namo i-pursue because as much as we wanted to have it, but we are being constrained by the fact that sila mismo dili mo dawat ng direct donation from a private person or individual or family.
Mhm.
So mag-agi pa ng syudad. So conversam na gud karado, and it will take time pa. Okay? So daon amoy amo na agrihan, and then we are scheduling a site visitation kuman Martes ba to or Miyerkules, together with the mga regional court administrator and our members sa judiciary din sa syudad to really see the location itself on how it is appropriate for the judiciary. Although sa pagkakuman, I still have to confirm with Big Bernal, board member Big Bernal, if nagkaistorya na sila ni Governor. Kay before we have to go into this aspect of site visitation, at least the Governor will have to give us really the imprimatur. So that is why Kuman Buntag makikistorya pa kami ni board member Bernal, and we'll try to see unay progress na ini by Monday.
Okay.
So daon ra balian daon na itabo. Pero this is a welcome development for the city of Surigao and then ato mga clientes kay convenient na gud karado kung jaon isa ka building ay
Ato
isa ra
tanan.
gud ka building ang ato mga korte.
Aha. So kung mahitabo na sir, matibo na ang RTC, MTCC, then Office of the Clerk of Court.
Amo daw bali ang plano.
Amo man dyan, no, ang sa Supreme Court. So ang Provincial and City Prosecutors, Public Attorney's Office, and Parole and Probation, malahi ra sila.
Isa pa doon sa taga-negotiate lagi namo, if there is still an area na dadto sabjaon ra kan para isar kang gazot, more than one-stop shop ra ka na pamaagi na dili na magkadto sa lain pa na lugar na isa ka ato tagtanaw lagi ang convenience. So ini hanapan gud namo, we will really try to endeavor as much as possible within the next 2 weeks na mathikay na initanan ikanugon sab nan allocation ng Supreme Court for Surigao City na dili namo mahatagan ng dako na inin kay gayunan at offer na inin ng Supreme Court sa ato.
Okay.
We'll try to grab as much as possible the opportunity that has been given to us. Kay kinahanglan long overdue naman sa gadud ini for the city of Surigao.
All right. Sir, last Monday may regional election of officers sa Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines. Kumusta?
Well, dito kita nag-attend ng regional Vice Mayor's League, and anato duha ka oro tuyo man bagan to. Sila si Vice Mayor Napoli, si Vice Mayor sa Hulga, and Vice Mayor Patan were elected as members of the board.
Board of Directors.
So, Board of Directors. So, we are really trying to consider kay hamok man sa proyekto nan ato mga Vice Mayor's League, and president ito is from Ilocos, a national president. Although officially sa November pa siya i-elect, pero as of now naglaong siya na way ija kontra. He will run unopposed. Pero kinahanglan gihapon ang election that is coming November. Pero hamok na ija gud tag-plaster na mga proyekto para sa mga vice mayors, and we are happy na jaoy ato presidente sa Vice Mayor's League of the Philippines na is now going into kay kadaghanan gud June mag national convention na hurotraan oras ng mga i-imbitar na mga kongresista, presidente, senador, na magyaw-yaw din on the whole day. Kumano lang siya, ato na i-shift na ang ato convention is more of a training. Formal training na sa mga vice mayors, sa ang mga patakaran na ngayon himuon sa isa ka vice mayor, labi na sa there are more na nanginahanglan pagadud na dako na taglawang pa education. It is more of a seminar-like convention. You attend not because you wanted to hear the messages na kung imo puro man sa bula, whereas jaon nag-attend ka, jaon gadoy imo makatunan. Dili ra lamang na sa tinuoray lamang sab amo bito do na kun jay mga national convention, I am sometimes hesitant to go. Why? Because it is just a useless trip. Pag-abot mo dito, ingkod na ka, mamati na ka itong mga speakers, kongresista, senador, puro mga, whereas kuman, law sila, will go far more sa ato capacity building than ato mga vice mayors to handle the affairs of not only the local sanggunian but in its totality. What are the limitations? Labi na, for example, sa doon budget, pagtrata ng budget, pag-preside ng session, pag-preside ng mga special committee hearings, pag-preside ng while you are the acting mayor. So kinahanglan mga doon mahibawan sa doon kaya dili man ko magpahituratoy na mo assume ng position without having basic knowledge of what you are supposed to do. Diba? Kinta, nalipay kami, tagpalakpakan na mo doon taglaong na innovations na capacitated gadot ang ato mga vice mayors to undertake their role. Not only as the presiding officer of the Sanggunian, but more importantly, as a vice mayor that is ready to function in whatever capacity he will be given the opportunity to undertake while in office.
Kisay president ninyo sir sa Vice Mayors League Regional?
Si Kuan, Napuli.
Si Jamoy, Vice President.
Adi, sa provincial si Napuli. Sa regional, taga-munisipyo na Agusan. Agusan del Sur. He has been there for quite a time already. Hindi man sabkon naglaong paya may nag-contest dito. In fact, nulong sila na jagang kawar cancer lakon na adaw ra kanton. Ihatag nato sa mga batanon. Kay kita daon ka idara na lisod na mag-travel lagi kay normally doon mga opisyalis ng mga league. Most of the time doon mga fall for travel.
Last Monday also sir, 15 years na din ning drug kining ano pa ni? DTRC kining drug treatment rehabilitation center. Oo.
Yes, I was there because I said that the drug treatment and rehabilitation center in Surigao City is one of my legacy. 15 years ago, together with Dr. Nini Gorgolon, we entered into an ambitious project. An ambitious in the sense that during that time, nagkataas ang problema sa mga nalulong sa droga. And in fact, di lang ko i-mention, one prominent family had to bring their son to Cebu for drug treatment. Very expensive, very expensive then. And at that time, may opening na ang regional director sa DOH was Dr. Nini Gorgolon. She used to be assistant secretary during the time of previous administration, but now she has retired. But again, it was something that we natag-envision gayud namo. Pwede man siguro makabutang kita ng drug treatment and rehabilitation center sa Surigao City. Kaya sa region at that time, waya. So, the opportunity came that we found a place suitable for a drug treatment and rehabilitation center. And immediately, after I considered that as a possible site, I brought Dr. Gorgolon to the area and he said, this is a perfect site for a drug treatment and rehabilitation center. So immediately, we entered into a memorandum of agreement that the city will acquire the property and will be donated to the drug DOH at the time. And in return, the DOH will establish the Drug Treatment and Rehabilitation Center. So that was 15 years ago. Now it is already 15 years after. And I'm very, very happy, as I've said in my remarks, that I'm very happy to see and personally be with you on the occasion of the 15th year that we have been able to sustain the operations of the Drug Treatment and Rehabilitation Center, which I founded and established 15 years ago. So, kuman, mukadto ka dito, June, kagwapo sa ila mga facilities. My goodness, kung makita ra lamang ni Joe. And I also said sa message ng Mayor, na lawas sila ikaw kay mag-represent sa ako, we at least assure them that the city government, as long as negotiations will push through, we will again give them, by way of donation, a larger portion for their expansion. We still are to negotiate and with the Drug Treatment and Rehabilitation Center of that area, that adjacent area that they have now. But my goodness, if you really can see an ato mga naglaong pa kliyente na mga jadto dito, makita mo gud sila ng kalipay nila. Mga ginikanan nila na dito, naghugoy-hugoy sila, because it was a founding anniversary. An anniversary that really calls for celebration. An anniversary that calls for gratefulness sa taghatag ng mahal na makagagahom for Surigao City that could be able to establish a drug treatment and rehabilitation center. Remember that this is the only drug treatment and rehabilitation center that was established 15 years ago. Although there is another one in Patinay, but that is for sa mga babaji. But in here, it is really for sa mga layaki. And then I was informed ang capacity is just only about 100. Now they are more than the number, but nevertheless they are still able to cater na needs ng ato mga applicant for drug rehabilitation. And very, very happy to represent the city government of Surigao. I'm very happy that this project of mine during the time that I was the city mayor has been perpetuated to a larger extent, that it has expanded by leaps and bounds. Na makita mong gudod, ang uno ka-importante ba da? Ang isa ka drug treatment and rehabilitation center that established right here in the city.
Okay. Vice Mayor Pon, salamat karadyo sir sa mga naisgutan nato kuman buntaga gikan nitong Lunes hangtod kahapon na sa imong pagpangatungdanan as Vice Mayor, and at the same time you acted as acting city mayor of the city of Surigao while the mayor is on travel.
Yes, I will give this opportunity that next Saturday we'll try to see that maghanta kita ng live coverage sa Battle of Surigao Strait Memorial activity, whatever it is, because we have invited a lot of visitors from Japan, from Australia, from America, and we are preparing for this. In fact, right after this program, I will again visit the area. I have been given the task of the city mayor to oversee the ground preparation as well as the program, and I really wanted to see that everything is has been taken care of. Kay isa man ini ka activity ng syudad na is known worldwide. Imagine we are expecting no less than 30 ka mga Japanese mga grandchildren, great-grandchildren of those who died in that epic battle of the Battle of Surigao Strait. So ini ang amo tag-Andaman. And then tomorrow we'll have the Battle of Surigao Strait in triathlon. So mga kaigsunan ko mga Surigaonon, salamat gud karadyo sa pag sunod sa ato programa. Keep safe, pray as always, have faith in God, and for everything that is happening now, there is only one way that we can be able to stand up, by way of trusting the Almighty. God bless to each and everyone, and to God always be the glory.
Amen. Vice Mayor Pon, salamat mga kaigsunan sa pagpahayag. May kalabutan na sa mga kisaw ng Sangguniang Panlungsod. Isip siya ang presiding officer ng Sangguniang Panlungsod sa Surigao City. Dili itong tapuso ng laing edisyon sa kisaw ng Sangguniang Panlungsod. Sa kontrol nila ni Jacqueline Hakusalemog ni Paing Agra, sa transmitter si Bubong Abad. Kini inyo lagad sa kanginan. June Clarico magpasalamat. Maradyaw na adlong Sabado. Stand by sa mga updates para sa Battle of Surigao Strait Triathlon with City Councilor Carl Dwayne Casura and the Surigao Cycling Club. Maradyaw na buntag, Surigao. Idyo nabati ang Kisaw nan Sangguniang Panlungsod. Hangtod sa sunod higayon, matag Sabado, alas 7, ngadto sa alas 7:30 ang takna sa buntag. Salamat karadyaw sa idyo pagpaminaw.